All right, guys. Today we're going to go over how to clean screens. Young Caden here is going to demonstrate everything for us, and here we go. Okay, to start cleaning screens, we have two stacks. For simplicity, we keep all our low mesh here and our high mesh separate. Step one is to take the tape off the screens. So Caden doesn't have big, long fingernails, so a lot of times he has to use this ink knife here carefully so as to not puncture the screens. We'll remove everything off of the front of the screens, and then momentarily we'll flip it around and take everything off the back of the screens. We keep this all in one location. We don't walk around the shop with a bunch of dirty screens. We stay right here next to our washout booth and our trash can and all our chemicals that we need. So at this point, he will gather up, how many screens do you need at once, Caden?
8.
8 screens. Once he has 8 screens, he'll start the cleaning process. So he'll keep removing tape until he has 8 screens completely removed of tape. For our next step in the process, Caden's getting his apron on, and he'll be putting on some gloves, and we will use our press wash, PW4, which is this bottle. Is that correct, Caden?
Yes.
Okay, so this bottle is our PW4. What that's going to do is remove the ink, that and a power washer. So we'll watch Caden scrub that down. These screens at this stage, when he's wiping them down, don't have to become spotless. He just has to get that ink loose enough that it mostly washes off with a power washer. You can see the rag he's using is dirty because it doesn't have to be a clean rag. All we're doing is getting this chemical onto the ink. You can see the ink breaking loose there where it's in clumps. You can see it smearing around. That's how you know the chemical is doing its job. That and a little bit of elbow grease. Caden's looking for any areas where ink is piled up on the screen and breaking that loose as well. The second side, that starts to really open up the screen at that stage in the process. And now he is ready for the power washer. So we're just going to turn around here. You'll see this ink. At this stage, it is ready to go into the dip tank. So normally we do 8 screens. In this case, we had 4 ready to go, and so we're just going to do 4. Ken's going to put that down, and we've got some bricks that we keep here to weigh them down. The screen frames themselves are hollow. Normally we do 8, so it makes us a little nervous with that brick. We don't want to lose it, because if we lose that brick, we got to go in there and fish it out, and that's no fun. He is changing his mind. On the fly. The dip tank does have a lever here that pulls out.
If we can get it out.
There you go.
There's a physics lesson for you.
All right, so that's going to sit there for a handful of minutes, probably 3 to 4 minutes, and then that'll be ready to come out. As this dip tank solution weakens in strength, It may have to stay in there longer, but so long as it's, you'll know when the dip tank solution has ran out of its potency, the emulsion will no longer come off of the screen when we wash it with the power washer here in a minute. Instead, it will sheet off like sheets of plastic. So this stuff lasts for quite a while, so sometimes you do have to up the time on it. While we're waiting on that dip tank to do what it does, which is just sort of a time suck, I want to explain to you the process of how this works. There's a time flow to do this efficiently. If we have 2 people to do it, that's great. 2 people goes so fast. But most of the time, it's a one-man job. And the most efficient way to do that is to take the tape off every single screen first. Step 2, the way that I like to do it, is to clean, using the Press Wash 4, the PW4, 8 screens. Once you have 8 of those clean and you've power washed them so the ink is removed, you put all 8 of those screens into our dip tank. Once we have 8 screens in that dip tank, while you're waiting on them to soak, is when you come back here and clean 8 more screens with the PW4. By the time you're done cleaning those 8 screens, you're ready to pull everything out of the dip tank and clean it. I know this gets kind of confusing now. So you've cleaned everything that's in the dip tank, you've put 8 more in, and now you can either get the PW4 and clean 8 more screens and remove the ink, or get the HR30, the haze, whoop, I dropped it, the haze remover, and you can dehaze those 8 screens so that they are completely finished. Enough time has passed. These are set in our dip tank long enough. We're going to pull these out, and you can see as soon as he lifts one of these up, that emulsion has already dissipated largely. So you'll see when he hits that with a power washer, he's letting it drain a little bit. When he hits that with that power washer, almost every single bit of this emulsion is going to go away. Caden's checking it over to make sure he's good and got all his emulsion out. And once he's certain of that, he's going to grab his haze remover. Let's step back so you see everything. He grabs a more industrial pair of gloves because the haze remover is a dangerous, harsh chemical and it will tear your hands up. So he's going to grab his haze remover with a pair of safe gloves, and he'll get a clean rag at this point. And Caden is going to show us
How I clean rag. Clean gloves.
clean gloves. Oh, Caden's mixing it up on us. He's just putting the dehazer on with the gloves. Very crafty, Caden.